Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Talking All Things. Today, we are talking about the episode titles and the new trailer for season 1 of Doctor Who.
Yes, happy Easter, everyone. This was our little Easter treat from Russell T Davies, wasn't it? Is it
It
better than a
was.
chocolate egg, though?
We'll get on to that. I think there are certain bits that are better. But
That's the
other
gauge
than that,
here for our excitement levels. Is it better than a chocolate egg?
yeah, we'll get on to some of those titles.
Have you tucked into any of yours yet?
I have not. You've
resisted the urge. To be fair, you've been working today.
That is true. But yeah, this is going to be a nice sort of chill Sunday live stream, talking about Doctor Who, catching up with all the lovely people in the chat, because this is the second one we've done this year. So it'd be good to check in with everybody here.
Yeah, and speaking of, hello, Trevor Hicks says, hi, guys. Good to see you on a live show. Thank you, Trevor.
Hello.
Yeah, like we say, second one of the year. The first one was like a New Year's one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I guess we're doing it sort of
now,
annual celebrations, I guess.
Yeah, we're doing the big events. We skipped out on Valentine's Day. You were busy that day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the New Year's one was quite on New Year's Day itself anyway.
No.
It was still within the range. It was at the start of the year. So yeah, I suppose
real good.
Maybe be back for a May bank holiday or something.
Yeah, I mean, we could cover season 1 whenever. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. Certainly not the last live stream you'll ever see on this channel. But
no, we've got a plan for another one in April. Don't know when, but we've got plans for more.
Yeah, certainly. We like our live streams. It is good to sit back, chill, connect. You don't have to edit anything.
That's true. That is true.
It makes life a little bit easier. But yeah, we have certainly been going much harder on the pre-records, which hopefully you're all enjoying. Hopefully able to, get right into things. Whereas here, as you notice, we're sort of ambling about a bit more chill, because before we start talking about the main topic, we want to give everyone time to arrive and check in with everyone.
Especially this, because we didn't know this was happening until like an hour ago. We're like, should we do a live stream? We're like, go on, let's do it.
We were sort of like, debating, doing a little recording session tonight, discussing this as a video, but it probably wouldn't have come out for a couple of days still. So we thought, get it hot off the press, talk about these things on the day they've happened. Hello, Jake Weiss. Somehow I'm never able to catch live streams. Glad I've made it for this one, though. Hope you're all well. Thank you,
glad
Jake.
you're here. Glad you're here.
Lovely to have you. I mean, probably one of the reasons you're never able to catch our live streams is because there hasn't been one for
true.
Nearly 3 months. But yeah, wonderful to see you. How have you been otherwise, Ben?
Been tucking into season 15. That's been an absolute delight, because it's a season I'm going to say I'm not a huge fan of it. But there's been some revelations on this watch through of it.
Oh, how far through are you?
I've just done the first 2 stories, so I've done Horror Fang Rock and Invisible Enemy.
Same. You've done the Graham Williams documentary, haven't you?
Yes, which I think is probably the first thing you should watch on.
I failed there already, though.
Yeah, you have. Because I think it gives you an insight of Graham as a person, but also probably the ambition and the ideas the man had. And you probably see his era in a whole new light, really, because it's a very personal, intimate documentary. And I think that it's worth the price of the box alone, that documentary.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, one new documentary I have tucked into is the Horror of Fang Rock one.
Oh, I've seen that too,
yeah. They visit the lighthouse. Basically just the cast and crew complaining about Tom Baker being a bit of a diva, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was sort of the turning point for Louise, which is quite wonderful.
Especially how it was just such a simple thing. And I think also it's interesting how they're talking about how they're sort of unsure of what's going on in Tom Baker's head a lot of the time.
Like, I don't think Tom's sure either.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't just a case of him necessarily being deliberately difficult, but sometimes him just being difficult, perhaps without realizing it. Like Louise said about him calling Paddy Russell Sir all the time.
Mm.
And, was wondering whether that was something he was doing just to get on her nerves or he meant it as a sign of respect. And the fact that she couldn't tell is rather, interesting, really. And yet, the moment where he threw one of the other actors' scripts out the window.
Vince's,
Yeah. It's like, was he doing that because he was genuinely frustrated? Was he trying to, lighten the atmosphere a little and be funny? Like, it seems like he was certainly
sort of bipolar, I guess.
Very unpredictable force on set at that particular time. I suppose as well, this would have been the second story he made without Philip Hinchcliffe there. Well, technically third if you count Robot, but that's, a little different. This is the first time that he's lost Philip after having him really steady the boat for him during those first 3 years. So, yeah, I wonder if that contributed to it. If he was getting if this was always where Tom Baker was going, whether Hinchcliffe had stayed or not.
It's interesting because in the Graham Williams documentary, Philip mentions that he sort of had to rein Tom in at times. So it's interesting that there was probably because I started roughly around the same time, there's probably mutual respect there with Philip, whereas with Graham, Tom was already off the lead by then.
Yeah, and I suppose Tom also had sort of the quality of thinking he's the elder statesman. He's the one who's been there the longest by that point, so he knows best.
Yeah, so he knows everything, how it runs, what's best for everything, really.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying season 15 so far. I think especially how high quality the restoration work is, particularly with Invisible Enemy. I was stunned by how well that's come off with it. I mean, when was it 2008? The original?
7, I want to say, that DVD.
Yeah.
K9 Tales.
Yeah, it was one of the rare black To Entertain logos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, so many of those shots come out really crisp. Like, not just the model work, which
is great throughout the whole season.
Yeah. But even like shots inside Titan Base and stuff came off really well. The story I was really enjoying during part 1 as well, but that sort of falls off a bit as it goes on.
I mean, you admire the ambition of it, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the main takeaway, really, of what it's trying to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether it's got the Disney budget to support it, we'll see.
Yeah. I admire that the balls of it to, just make no sense scientifically.
Yeah.
But pretend it does anyway.
But it's the Doctor's brain, so it's fine.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of fun moments that come out of that. And I think it's a very Bob Baker and Dave Martin script, for better or for worse. You can almost see them getting more and more off the leash as time went on. Yeah, perhaps that... When I was going to say perhaps that's a quality Terence had reining him back in. But I feel like Robert would have done a pretty good job as well.
Yeah.
I mean, is this... I don't know. They've got 3 more after this.
We've got Underworld, Nightmare of Eden.
That was Armageddon Vector.
Armageddon Vector, yeah.
And Nightmare of Eden was just
solo.
Bob, yeah. Trevor Hicks says, I'm envious. I've only been collecting the Blu-ray case version. The standard ones. Has 17 just come out standard? Is that due out?
Yeah, that came out about last month, I want to say.
Yeah.
So probably season 15, probably 3 years from now, maybe.
I mean, hopefully.
Because season 22 has gone up for pre-order recently, so that's the next one.
Have they skipped 2 then? Or was 2 after?
2's after 22.
Okay. Usually 2 years, says Trevor Hicks.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they sort of get more of a stealth announcement now, don't they? They used to actually make a bit of a song and dance about it, like give it a article on the Doctor Who website, but now they don't seem to. It's just you see someone point out, "Oh, this is
This is a
still on Amazon.
pre-order.
Here's a link."
Go and buy it.
Yeah. Certainly. I mean, you've got season 12 standard, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
You've got all the differences highlighted there.
Whether eventually we'll get the standard ones, because I fear for the longevity of those box sets.
I mean, some of them we've had 5 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed my season 22, the disc tray's pretty much leaving the back of the box set now.
Yeah.
So it's hanging on by one glue dot. But
I've got one or two where they just rattle around in there a bit. You try pushing them back down, but it never quite lasts. And you don't want to add anything more in there in case you damage it.
Yeah, I mean, I added the little extra for What Come of Doctor Who magazine, what was going to be on season 18, I think, about sort of sending transmissions in space. It was part of like an extended bit of the Logopolis making of. And I've put that in the season 18 one, which I think, because that's a 7-disc one, I think it doesn't affect it that bad.
I think 18's 8.
Is it 8? 8, okay.
Yeah, 7 stories and then 1 bonus disc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. The Toms seem to usually have less discs, though. They're the 7-disc ones. Or Graham Williams era is.
I'm sure Key to Time will be the same.
Yeah. You can sort of tell with a lot of the later releases how they are buffing up the number of discs. Like, whereas when it first came out, it was always 1 disc per story and then, a bonus disc. I think the first one to buck that trend must have been 26. Yeah, 26.
We had so many versions of the stories on there. You had like the VHS edit, the work print for Ghostlight. That's a fair
did 23 come before 26?
23 before 26. It was 20. Yeah, 23.
September, and then Jake Holdsworth says hello.
That's
Jake.
the boss. That's the boss, man.
Is it?
Shout out to Barra Street gang. Yeah, so that's great. How you doing? I know you're excited about getting the latest Doctor Who news, so I'm here to get that covered for you. Yeah,
lovely.
It's all good. It's all good.
This is the one who's been arranging your listener alongs.
Yeah, this is the one who's been doing the Big Finish listens in the morning, going, "What's this one? Is this any good? Is that Dalek Man?" Yeah. So it's all
Dalek
good.
Man saying Big Finish for the love of stories.
Well, no, we don't get the little intro. We just get whatever's on.
You dive
Spotify.
right into it.
Yeah, whatever's on shuffle. That's one we're listening to for 15 minutes. So it's all good. It's all Gucci. So it's all right.
We're all excited, says Trevor Hicks.
We are.
Yeah, I suppose.
Should we dive in?
Yeah, we're both
Should
ready.
we dive in? We're both ready for better shooting Gatwa news. So, episode 1. It is called
Space Babies. I mean, we're doing this as a dramatic reveal. I'm pretty sure
everyone
most
knows.
people knows what we're on.
It's not that great of a title, is it?
I wouldn't have said so before because we did have the leak.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, the little video item thing they put out with it, because each of these has its own little bit of art to go along with it, I suppose.
Yeah, by Sophie Cowdery, I think.
Yeah.
From what she said. Which is pretty nice.
Something about how creepy that is makes the title work a bit more for me. It makes me reasonably excited for what that episode could be about.
It almost feels a bit primeval, like is it like the bogey man creature they've called it?
Yeah.
So I like that they're sort of leaning into sort of the myths and legends and sort of folklore. Big fan of that.
Yeah. And also not just folklore, but putting the folklore into space as well. and certainly giving off a bit of a alien-inspired vibe this episode, but with space babies in it.
Do you think that's where we see sort of like the Satellite 5 type spaceship in the trailer? Do you think
I
that's
feel like it.
it's got to be it? Which is
Yeah.
great. It was great to see more of that. But we'll get onto the trailer after the
Yeah.
titles.
Yeah. But you do also have a moment later in the trailer where like on a ruined, desolate world,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure it looks like the wreckage of that satellite.
Hmm.
I mean, I might not. It's the one where it's very orangey.
Yeah.
I mean, might not be the case, but certainly looked a bit similar to me. So who knows what that can mean for that episode. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bits like that in the trailer where you're sort of wondering, is this doing a Pyramids of Mars where we're looking into alternative time?
Yeah, if that sort of demon or god won.
Yeah, especially with how they're playing a bit more fast and loose with time travel now. It is sort of going back to that vibe of looking into alternative time. Like you have the butterfly moment from the Disney trailer. Bits like that. But yeah, Space Babies. I mean, it sort of fits the weirder vibe they're going for with the titles recently.
Yeah, they're quite snappy titles overall, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, when you look back, we had the Star Beast, which wasn't an original title from Russell. It's taken from the comic, and it made perfect sense to use the same one. So then you've got Wild Blue Yonder and The Giggle, which are rather different, especially not what you expect for a 60th anniversary. I think it's funny with titles how over time Doctor Who fans become more and more accepting of them.
Mhm.
Like, I think when The Giggle was first revealed, everyone was like, what the hell is that? That's not a Doctor
Yeah,
Who
like that's
title.
the
very
last
weird.
that's a Regeneration story title.
Yeah, but now it just feels right. We just accept it because that time has passed. We've seen the episode. We know what that giggle is. The
Yeah, the arpeggio.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like while there's a bit of uproar now, Space Babies will just become perfectly accepted over time. And I suppose also it's what you associate those words and that title with. Like at the moment, because we haven't seen the episode that goes along with it.
I mean, we've seen the
We don't
actual
quite
Space Babies in it.
Yeah, we've seen those in the trailer.
Which I mean, this episode's got to do a lot for me, really, because I've still not watched Church on Ruby Road. So yeah, it's got to do something big, and I think they're pushing it a lot. They're pushing this season a lot, and I hope that the stories are there to support it.
I mean, it does feel nice to, again, with these title cards, it feels like each story is an event. Each story is almost like another special in a way, which I think especially works when you've only got 8 episodes in a series or season now. And I mean, a lot of them written by Russell, which we'll get into that. That's caused a bit of discourse, as you'd expect, because
really,
when there's any bit of news dropped in Doctor Who history that hasn't caused discourse, especially over on Twitter. Jake says, I am ambivalent on the title Space Babies, but Doctor Who and the Space Babies would have been perfect to me.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good target.
Novel to come.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, yeah, be fan of that.
I mean, they're not quite doing them as regular targets now.
No,
because with the 60th specials they did, they went straight to the paperback targets. But
yeah,
with Church on Ruby Road, it went for the hardback, and I don't know if they've done a paperback yet, and if that is a target version,
that's
or if
coming out in the summer. That target, so that's going to be
done.
So
it's going to be a target one.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be the same novel as the hardback, but just paperback.
Yeah, but target stuff.
Yeah, to fit in with your other targets.
Okay, that's good. So I wonder what they'll do for if they're even getting novelizations. To be fair,
well, we're getting
original novels, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting free tie-in books, which is great to see that return.
That
feels like Yeah, that feels like almost a nice little throwback because they were great, sort of up until sort of series 10, weren't they? Where you'd get your free books.
Yeah. I think you had the last one was for series 11, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. But they were done weird. The series 11 ones, they were sort of spaced out every couple of weeks. It wasn't like here's an initial drop.
Or is this going to be an all-in-one drop again?
I believe so.
Okay. Hello, Sir Stylish One. Sorry I'm late. Bought any Big Finish 6th Doctor and Charlie audios lately, Luke?
Yeah, Luke.
I brought Born to Die.
Oh, he's clever, is old Luke, is he? He's a wily
How
old
long does that
fox.
sale last for? I know what you're on about, Stylish One. I know.
Yeah.
I need to redeem myself there because I did not get it for the tier list that we did. So,
Yeah.
End is still on sale.
I think it's still on sale. So you've still got time, Luke, to pick it up.
How long?
And then we can do a throwback review on it.
That'll be our redemption.
Your redemption.
What? You haven't listened to it either, have you?
I have listened to it.
Oh, you did listen to it.
I did listen to it.
I
put it on that tier. I put it on that tier list, so you know.
Okay. But there were a lot of stories we went through. I can't remember each and every one of them.
I mean, there was 275, so
exactly.
You know, it's easily done. Easily done.
Jackie Green said, "Would it make you want to watch it from the episode title if you had never seen Doctor Who before? I wonder." I mean, I feel like it kind of might.
I feel like it
because it depends if you're going at it from. Because if you haven't seen Doctor Who before, you have no preconceptions of what Doctor Who is.
Or would you watch Church on Ruby Road?
It's sort of hard to tell which one they want you to start with.
Because there was a lot of Church on Ruby Road in the first trailer.
But
I don't think there was any in tonight trailer.
No. But yeah, certainly Space Babies as a title. If you hadn't watched Doctor Who before, you wouldn't have those preconceptions. Whereas I feel like a lot of Doctor Who fans are a bit more like they've got an idea of what a Doctor Who title is in their heads.
Yeah.
And something that mildly deviates from that is suddenly worse than the devil himself.
I mean, there is a great Doctor Who, like classic Doctor Who title in this list, which I think is probably my favourite of the bunch.
Sam Asom says, "All right, lads, nice to be streaming again. Also, I'm out at the pub having some lemonade. No rum this time, Sam.
Not rum. Goodness me.
But it is a night.
Well, yeah, it's a holy
But it's also
day.
a bank holiday Monday tomorrow, so you know it's
the night is young,
Saturday.
And it's good to be here. It is good to be here with all you lovely people.
Indeed. Louise says, "I'm just worried that Russell is writing so much of the season." I mean, you're not the only one, Louise. Yeah, we'll discuss that as we go. We also had directors and writers revealed, didn't we? Yeah. So this, I mean, a lot of these have already been revealed anyway and worked out by people who look into the production side of things and see which directors behind which block, work out the episode from there and stuff. All those DWSR people who are there, you know, getting a sneak peek on set, asking the directors, which episode's this? You know, doing a lot of hard work to give us this information in advance.
Unnecessary hard work, I would say. You don't need to do
Somewhat so, but
you don't need to do it.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Yeah, but stalking. Maybe that's not
there's
hobby.
some people who take it too far, but I think most of that community are pretty healthy with it now. But yeah, this is Julianne Robinson directing, and as we say, Ross T. Davis writing. I mean, as you sort of expect for the first episode.
But I feel like it matches sort of Shooty and Millie because they're kind of young, hip people, so they're kind of
space
groovy.
babies.
They're space babies. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to every episode being all killer, no filler, and feeling unique and stand out compared to, say, Summer Series 12, which felt like just another episode. Same here, Stylish Run. I hope that's the case for this. But yeah, particularly with 11 and 12, you do sort of feel like this is just here to fill a slot. It's TV made competently enough to go out on time that, fills a gap in the schedule.
I mean, Series 11 started promising with sort of the lead into the Ghost Monument. I was like, okay, this is quite fresh. And then it was dropped, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all downhill from there. But, new era now. New stuff to be excited for. Including episode 2, The Devil's Chord, which I feel like is the one we've got the most footage from.
They're really pushing that. So
Yeah.
this is probably going to be the musical episode.
Yeah, it looks it.
Because we've got Shooty singing and dancing, Millie singing and dancing again, probably.
I imagine Jinx Monsoon's going to get involved a bit as well there.
They actually got a proper glimpse of their character.
Yeah. Actually, he had a voice. Beatles as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of surprising that it hasn't been done before in Doctor Who at this point, other than The Chase. I mean, you got Fanfare for the Common Men as well with Big Finish, which kind of touches on it, but at the same time doesn't. It's about the other Beatles.
Yes.
But when you think about how they're both very linked to 60s, they're both icons of the 60s, aren't they?
I feel like the Beatles are the sound of the 60s, aren't they?
And certainly both of these have lived on beyond the 60s as well. And so it's just sort of funny when you think that it's only now 60 years later.
Well, you feel like if anything,
both
it would have been last year.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, you think they'd have done it for the 50th.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey. But, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this one.
I think that's the one what's got the most attention. So I think that's the one where a lot of people are probably hoping is the best one of the season.
Yeah. Again, written by Russell, directed by Ben Chessel. Don't know much of his work that I know of.
No, I can't say I do either.
Yeah, but I can't really say I pay attention to directors as much as I perhaps should. So maybe I've seen from him before.
He might have done Death in Paradise or something like that.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know.
Stylish One says, I would like cliffhangers for each episode leading into the next. I mean, that's sort of what we got with the 60th, isn't it? So
yeah,
surprised me. I think certainly I can imagine that being the case for the first couple of episodes,
especially with first two, with their dropping together on the same night.
Yeah, they're dropping together. That makes sense. And it looks like this is giving our typical Russell T Davies start to the series format of, you had your present day with the Christmas special. Now we're going to the future. Then we're going to the past. And with that dropping same day as well, or night, that feels quite interesting that we're going both future and past within the same day. It's very much a way of them showing off the scope that Doctor Who can reach at this point. I suppose it makes sense as a way of relaunching the show that they seem to be going for.
And it's kind of like the classic streaming model, isn't it? Of having sort of cliffhangers to make sure you check out next week or whatever.
Yeah. What next episode title? Boom.
Ace's favorite title of the bunch.
I mean, it's not just Boom as well. It's Boom in capital letters.
There we are.
We can hope. But how do you feel about this title? And Stephen Moffat being back.
It's like Blink, isn't it? Blink and Boom.
He likes his one-word titles, and the one-word titles are often ones to look out for when it comes to New Who.
I think this could be the potential to be the best of the season.
I mean, Stephen Moffat's been away for a little while, so he's coming back, one would hope, fresh.
And I reckon that bit of dialogue in the trailer about the battlefield, I reckon that's Moffat dialogue. That just seems so doctory.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps a Ruby-centric episode. I think the rumoured plot for this one is the Doctor spends most of it standing on that landmine. And so it's sort of Ruby thrown off on her own, trying to sort things out, which I think works nicely at this point in the series, where we've had a good bit of the 15th Doctor, but now we really get to throw the companion in the deep end and force her to sink or swim, really. But it looks Ben's internet has dropped there. He is rather frozen at the moment. He's perhaps standing on a landmine right now and doesn't want to shift his body weight in case he sets it off. So we'll leave him to that for a minute before he comes back. Yeah, Stylish One says, I love the Moffat era, so I'm hyped for that. There he goes. He's blown up. He's gone boom. Moffat's episodes under RTD were his best. Yeah, that's the other exciting thing, going back to having Moffat under Russell. And Moffat, who doesn't have to worry about writing so many episodes now, like, gets to put all his attention into this one and perhaps the Christmas special for 2025 as well. It's been rumoured. And I believe also in a quote while he was being interviewed, he mentioned the words boom and joy to the world and very much emphasized those. People were theorizing from that all his episode titles will be boom and joy to the world. We have boom confirmed. So makes you wonder, could joy to the world be the title of the Christmas special this year? Who knows? Thoughts on the latest Death in Paradise, Luke? Our Stylish One. I quite enjoyed it, the last series. I feel like the mystery in the finale was a bit over the top of space. You know, times where you feel like you're reaching for a mystery to surprise me with at this point. But character work-wise, can't fault it, like how they left them there. He's back. Or is he? Is he
Hello.
back? There we go. We can hear him again.
Yeah. Can you hear me? There we are. Good. Sweet.
Ooh, you're jumping in and out a bit there, but there we go. Yeah, basically just talk about
there we are.
Paradise.
Is that all right now?
Yeah, there we go. Ooh.
Oh, that's all right. You're of a hobby.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a bit of a delay.
What am I still jumping? Hang on. Give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there was a bit of a delay there, but hopefully those technical difficulties will be sorted out. This is one of the funs of going back to streaming, isn't it? Having technical difficulties to worry about that can't be edited out at a later date. Are we getting Death in Paradise tier list tomorrow? No such luck, I'm afraid, Stylish One. We do have our April roundup for tomorrow, but no April 1st, April Fool's style video tomorrow. No biscuit tier list or which biscuits
Part 2.
This year. Maybe next year we'll get around to something like that again.
We had an idea for one, but I can't remember what it was.
I was going to say, what was...
Yeah. But I remember it was a notion we're like, we should do that, but it mustn't have been that good of an idea. We forgot about it.
That's true. We have so many of these ideas.
And if anything, we're doing more than we've ever done now. So
yeah, we're cranking those videos out. I mean, how many was it this month? 13, I think. Yeah, 13 videos out this month. Probably recorded even more than 13.
Well, we've still got The Wrong Doctors to come out.
Yeah, that is going to be our Sixth Doctor throwback.
Mm-hmm.
And then Quinn Dilemma as well.
Mm-hmm.
That review. We've not recorded that one yet, but that'll be a coming review. What else have we recorded that we can mention? I mean, Day of the Daleks.
Day of the Daleks
will be coming.
That's gone through quite an extraordinary change. It transcends everything that we've done, what we've done with Stephen. It's not only a love letter to the Poet We Is and Day of the Daleks, but also a nice little sort of tribute to Nick, as it were. It sort of links into sort of the Myth Makers stuff, because there's going to be some quite cool footage if everything goes to plan with the copyright. But it's going to be really special, and it's something we're incredibly proud of. And Stephen is working tirelessly on it, because this has become his little project, his little space baby.
Yeah, very much.
But yeah, we've seen a glimpse of the edit, and we love it. We're a big fan of it. It's coming.
It'd be great when we do finally get to share it, and hopefully for everyone it will be worth the wait. Which version of Day of the Daleks? Asked Trevor Hicks. Both, really. We discuss,
and the Target novel as well. That gets mentioned in it.
No, I mean I watched both on the build up to it before we recorded. Nick went back and watched the original, episode 4 of the original.
Did.
I
mean, there's a great bit in that chat about episode titles. I think that might be going back in, so it's quite fitting, because we talk about what makes a good Doctor Who title. So we can use some of our expertise tonight on that to talk about these titles.
Juliet Landau returning to Big Finish is the real big news. Is that happening?
I don't know. Unless you said at a convention, I have no idea. Is it part of Dark Gallifrey?
Who knows? I mean, there's a 15-minute preview for that out now on the podcast.
I've not had a chance.
I listened to a little bit, maybe just to hear what the theme music sounds like. It ain't a bop.
Oh, isn't all good?
Not a great one.
Sad.
But anyway, 73 yards.
I like this one
title. Is it helped by the
pub sign?
Pub sign that you got.
I think you've got the church in the background.
Yeah, is it giving you Demons vibes?
It is. Is it to do with where the TARDIS was? It was 73 yards from the church.
Yeah, is this time back into Church on Ruby Road, or is it just another church? Are we going for a Gothic style story here? Yeah, so it feels like this one's very wide open. Like it's hard to attribute much from the trailer to this episode specifically.
Yeah,
like with Space Babies, you got all the spaceship / satellite stuff. It's pretty clear what's from that episode. You got your 60s setting, all your musical bits that very much go with the Devil's Chord. With Boom, you've got all the stuff on the battlefields that it seems very much to be the episode. Come to this episode, I've not got a clue.
No, I think this is the one that's always kept under wraps, really.
I think it might have been the first one they did, or one of the first. I think it was in the first recording block.
Could that be the one with that mysterious figure in the background? Susan Twist, was it? The character name?
The actress name.
Actress's name, was it?
Yeah. I mean, she's appeared a couple of times already as different characters, so people are theorizing that there's more to that she's this era's Bad Wolf, which could be the case. I mean, it certainly seems like there's a lot of mysteries set up here. You've also got that woman who lives next door to Ruby, who I can't remember the name.
Oh, Mrs. Flood.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, written by Russell T Davies again. You sort of got 2 with Russell, 1 off, 2 with Russell, 1 off, and then 2 with Russell.
I mean, do you want to talk about Russell sort of leading this season?
Yeah, might as well now. We're halfway through the episode titles. Jackie Green says, I think episode 4 is the one Millie shot more on her own as Shooty was still.
So this could be
yeah, that was the case.
the Kate, like the Million Kate Stewart stuff we saw.
Yeah, again, it's hard to tell where exactly this is.
Is this the one where Shooty's got the beanie and duffel coat, where he's
Oh, I
cosplaying
love that
Nardole?
look. I love that look.
Nardole.
It sort of feels like half Nardole, half Sarah from Sontaran Experiment.
Yeah. The rubber duck look.
Yeah. Nice little tribute to both there. And also feels rather Troughton, Fury of the Deep vibes. I love how much variation Shooty has with his costume. Well, it's even costume at this point. It just feels like he's wearing clothes, but at the same
I
time,
mean, Shooty is sort of a clothes horse, isn't he? Anything you put him in, he looks good.
it's
But I
true.
think that's the wonderful. It sort of harks back to Pertwee, where maybe because I'm a Pertwee aficionado, but you can picture you can tell what story that Pertwee image is from just from the outfit, because each outfit John had was so distinct and so sort of story orientated in a way.
And they're both sluts.
Yeah, yeah, which is great. So Shooty's already become a favorite just because of that.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell whether this episode is going to be set in the present or the past. I imagine not the future, but it sort of feels like present or past are both possibilities. One. But as for Russell writing 6 out of 8 of these, plus he's written, all 3 14th Doctor specials and Church on Ruby Road. It's arguably a lot for one man, but when you compare it to way back in series 1, Eccleston, he wrote 8 episodes out of 13 there. And certainly from what we know, a lot of the guest writers' episodes, he very much still had a strong hand in as well, in shaping those and doing rewrites and such. I mean, I think it's been said that the Impossible Planet and Satan Pit were pretty much all Russell. So, yeah, certainly I don't have a worry about the quality here.
It's not like a Series 11 where Chibnall was writing pretty much the whole. I think it was like 50-50, wasn't it, Chibnall?
Yeah.
With Series 11.
Yeah. Certainly early on. He wrote like 4 of the first 5, didn't he? Then he comes to Flux, he's writing all of that. But I feel like with Russell, I don't have any concerns about the quality dropping because he's writing, in quotes, too many of them.
I think you want a strong writer to kick off the show, get the foundations for the show for this new audience. Russell's a person with that vision for the show, so he can really put a mark on it. Then we get to sort of see series 2, and then you start getting the new blood in. I think it's important to make sure that Doctor Who has a future. And I think, Russell's sort of safeguarding that by sort of doing it, going, this is what I want to do. Here we go.
Yeah, he's laying down the foundations still again, I suppose. I mean, it's not like he's doing it all by himself. He's got script editors there as well. He's got Scott Hancock. And I'm sure Stephen Moffat, they probably sent some scripts back and forth as well, just as friends to discuss things. So I imagine, it is still a collaborative process here. But yeah, certainly I can understand the concerns from the point of view of there being less diverse voices getting involved in things. I think particularly when you've got your first Black Doctor, the fact that there's not a Black writer, I can understand why people would be upset and disappointed in that. But hopefully that will be still to come in season 2. Because it is useful to have these different voices, and particularly people there on set and in the writing room who can point out things that a middle-aged man, a white man, might not necessarily pick up on.
Yeah.
Out of malice, but just because he's not aware of those, or not as highly aware of those things, I suppose. We'll see how it all plays out.
And I think Russell's writing's evolved, a lot, with dramas like Years and Years and It's a Sin.
Yeah.
So, I think let him flex his, big brain energy.
And plus, he's not written for Doctor Who for a good long while now. He's got all these ideas stored up. Let him get them out of his system.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
I think having a safe and trusted writer is good after some turbulent years. Yeah, I can see that stylish one. And you can see that with Moffat coming back as well. It's someone he knows who can deliver a strong guest.
You want a safe pair of hands to just guide that initial run and make sure everything's sort of in place.
Yeah. I do hope the arc actually changes and evolves and hints are given throughout, like in Series 5 or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., rather than RTD's old, not very good arcs. Yeah, I mean, I suppose with RTD's older arcs, they're more focused on character, aren't they? And then you got your little hints and things to build up to a finale. But yeah, I mean, with him writing this much, it would make sense if, things twist and turn within them as an arc plays out, while also keeping each episode having its own individual identity, rather than what you had particularly with Chibnall, where despite him writing half of series 11, it still felt like it could be written by a different writer each episode, because nothing really builds there after a while. But yeah, we'll see. I'm still not sure what Bad Wolf was all about, says Trevor Hicks. I mean, we won't get into that now. We could explain it, but Ben just sat there quietly smirking.
Well, it's a good season, isn't it? It's a good series. I love it.
Yeah,
it was Rose sort of scattering the message throughout time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is this a message throughout time? Dot and Bubble.
Ooh. I thought this one would be called Albion.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be that episode with that guest character, the actor I can't remember the name of. But yeah, where you've got the TV screens there. This is presumably a present day one, which makes me sort of think that maybe 73 Yards would be in the past, just to balance that out.
Yeah.
And so, is this also going to be Slug Monster one?
I think so. I think it's got to be.
I mean, both these two were directed by Dylan Holmes Williams and again written by Russell T Davies. But yeah, doesn't look like it's going to be a two-part though.
No.
Are you upset by that we're only getting presumably the 1-2-part at the end of this season? Would you have wanted a mid-season 2-parter, or are you happy with it playing out this way? When there's only 8 episodes?
I think when you're starting from scratch, you kind of want to show the mechanics of the show, and that I guess if you're having cliffhangers sort of all the way like 2-parters, you probably would lose that sort of magic of how we can bounce around and do any story we want. So I think it's probably just giving people a taste of what the show can do.
Yeah, I can see that, but I also feel a bit disappointed because we have throughout the last few years really lacked in 2-parters anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's whether the episode is good or not. It doesn't matter whether it's a 2-parter or a 1-parter. And I think you can get some very good 1-parters out of it, right? Yeah, so it's something I would have been bothered about a while back, but now I'm not too upset. Like seeing what Russell has done with, say, The Giggle.
Yeah.
How much was squeezed into that, but how well it all worked. I feel like he's a writer who can very much make things work within 45, 50 minutes, maybe even an hour if we're lucky. Could we be getting hour-long episodes? who knows? I mean, even with the special lengths, we've seen quite a bit of variation there. Like some were around 55, weren't they?
Hmm.
I think Church on Ruby Road and Wild Blue Yonder came out a bit short.
Yeah, I think they were the shortest
Hmm.
of the bunch.
Right. Yeah, so certainly I have faith there that these can be written very tightly.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, looking back at the whole RTD era, I don't think there's any one-part stories that suffer from it. I don't look at them and think, "Oh, that needed a bit more time to breathe" or something. Well, that in particular would have made a much better two-parter. I sort of think it's more in the Moffat and Chibnall era where you see episodes like that feel like they're suffering a bit under being forced to be 45 minutes long.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. It's definitely true.
Stardust also says, also, Luke, I'm almost finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3. The show gets better and better. I'm loving Season 3, and it's easily my favourite season so far. Dare I say it's better than a lot of recent Doctor Who. I think that's fair. The Simmons Alien Planet, the Coulson Revenge episode, the mid-season finale, the Time Travel Forwards episode, and the Traitor episode is some of the best Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there is, in my opinion. Yeah, the Simmons Alien Planet episode is very close to what a Doctor Who episode would feel like. I mean, it was said at the time as well. I think a lot of people were saying it's better than any Doctor Who that was going around at the time. So, yeah, very strong one. I prefer season 2, but I think 3 is very strong as well. Stylish one. Stylish one also says, I love a big contemporary modern day blockbuster. I'm hyped for some of these modern day episodes. Yeah, it's on. It feels like there's a lot of modern day in the trailer.
Hmm.
And you look through these episodes and you think, where could this be?
Yeah, which is nice to
Hmm.
go in sort of fresh, and it's just great to be speculating about the show again.
Yeah, like not everything is perfectly neatly fitting in yet. There's still, even though we're getting these episode title reveals and trailers, there's still a lot of things to keep you guessing. There's a lot of mystery there. But yeah, Dot and Bubble, weird episode title. No clue what really else there is to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Just off the title, I can't say I'm looking forward to it at the minute.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah. I'm intrigued by it. I can't say it gets me excited for it, but at the same time, I can't say it puts me off it or anything. So like more of a neutral title. Which I mean, same could have been said about Wild Blue Yonder when we first said that title.
I feel like there's more to speculate with Wild Blue Yonder, where Dot and Bubble kind of just feels a bit
Sitcom-y.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's part of the plot. Maybe it is Doctor Who does a sitcom.
I mean, to be honest, with those big slug creatures, I guess you could play it like it.
Was it rumoured they were at a university setting? Or was it just being filmed around a university but it might not necessarily be a university in universe?
I don't know. I think so.
Is Ruby going off to uni?
Maybe. Maybe, I don't know.
And then we have Rogue.
Which is the Regency episode.
Yeah, with new guest writers, Kate Herron and Bryony Redman. Kate Herron worked on Loki. I believe she was the showrunner director, I think, for that series. So just dabbled in time travel before. Directed by Ben Chessel again.
Does that make you excited since you're a Marvel fan? Is that like a good name? You're like, oh, that's a good pedigree for the show.
Oh yeah, that's another Marvel connection, isn't it? Rogue from the X-Men. This title doesn't really do much for me. Maybe we've already got our one-word title for this series, so it's a bit like, oh, you're intruding on Boom there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another episode that we've seen a fair amount from in the trailers. We had that promo picture of the different characters. I mean, you got the clips in the trailer of Ruby saying, "This is so Bridgerton,"
They're really
which
playing
happens
up to that.
immediately after the Doctor is looking at what's that actor's name? The one who everyone thinks is going to be Jack Harkness for some reason.
Well, it's Jeff something, isn't it?
Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder, is there going to be a romance there?
I think so.
I'd be down for it. In particular, like, a one-off episode romance similar to what we got in Girl in the Fireplace.
Yeah,
that could be quite interesting. And I think that's often the way to do Doctor romances. Have them more be fleeting little things rather than, companion romances. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit weird for Ruby if she's sticking around at Christmas, with a whole Bridgerton fandom to then see Nicola Coughlan turn up.
It's all foreshadowing.
But yeah, Rogue as an episode title? Don't know. Like, could it be about rogues from the future heading?
Is it Drax?
Who knows?
Do you think we've got that sort of deep cut? I mean, we've had Beep the Meep and the Wrath Warrior, so who knows? You heard it here first. Could it be Drax from the Armageddon Factor?
I mean, you've got India Varma in there as well as the Duchess.
Yeah, like the bird creature is very sort of Vengeance on Varos.
But very a step up in terms of special effects from there.
Do you think that's a practical effect or CGI?
Ooh, hard to tell. Because I mean, Lizard Ruby is practical.
Yeah, which would surprise me.
She came out on Instagram showing herself in that makeup. So yeah, it makes you wonder. I feel like it's probably a mixture of both. Like enhanced through CGI, but there's something there on set as well. The budget is so big that they can afford to put Millie in all that makeup for one scene. Or is it once?
Yeah, I think we hiding the fact
that she's going to be like that. No, I imagine that's going to be like right at the very start because she's in the same outfit from Church on Ruby Road and what she still has in the rest of Space Baby. So I imagine that's sort of like a bit of a gag at the start of Space Babies before we then get into the main plot of the episode. Similar to what we got Wild Blue Yonder. You got your pre-title sequence, Mavity joke, then you go into the episode itself.
Should we talk about episode 7's title?
Yeah, the build up to the finale now.
The Legend of the Sea Devils. Sorry, I mean Blue Sunday.
Hopefully a step up from
hopefully.
Written by Rusty Davis and directed by JB Donahue. Yeah, and I mean this has got like the TV cameras in the old teaser thing, so it's sort of giving off the same vibe as the Davina McCall stuff in Church and Ruby Road.
Because you've got an image of Ruby looking at a load of screens in the trailer, so I assume this is that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've also got Mel in these 2 episodes, haven't we?
Yeah.
And Kate as well.
And I think we've got Ruby's adopted mom in it because she's in Unit HQ.
You're in Unit HQ, can't you? Yeah. So this is presumably your present day stuff. Although it was also teased that the opening scene of this would be in like a 1950s diner over in Utah, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
This is like way back.
This is the thing. We're getting information on season 2. Well, we're getting, season 1's dropping, and it feels like a weird sort of cycle we're in, So we were waiting for the 60th. Yeah, we're waiting for the 60th special as well. This series was being filmed, so yeah, it's time travel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was said in one of the very first letters showrunner that Russell did. He sort of mentioned, I'm writing episode 7 of the new series right now, and it's got this is the setting that we're starting off in for the first scene. and that was about it because he likes to be a tease. I swear he also teased that we were going to see the longest episode title ever, but that doesn't seem to be the case with season 1 at least.
I mean, Wild Blue Yonder seems quite a big title.
No, but I mean, like literally in terms of length of
Okay,
character count.
all right.
I think he was saying it's a big title, more so than Pyramid at the End of the World. Which, I mean, doesn't seem to be the case for any of these.
Could that be the Moffat Christmas title? Because that's supposedly leaked today.
No. I mean, I think it's been theorized for a little while that it's Joy to the World.
Yeah.
Because Moffat, in an interview, said Boom,
Boom.
and then Joy to the World later. And he very much emphasized those two little sections. People were theorizing, oh, those is 2 episode titles. And Boom obviously turned out to be true. But again, Joy to the World, not very long. So, yeah, I don't. I'm pretty sure that was said somewhere in a letter from the showrunner. Maybe you
have to look back on those.
Yeah, or maybe it was just gonna be one of these, but then they thought of a better title, so went for it instead. Which, is fair enough. You don't have to stick to your very long episode title just because you teased in DWM 1 year ago to the hardcore fans that we're gonna have a very long title. If you think of a better title, you might as well go for it. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it's season 2. We'll have to dig through all those old letters from the showrunner to see quite what was being teased there. Then finally, Empire of Death.
Yeah, a name of a BBC past Doctor Adventure book with the 5th Doctor and Nyssa.
Oh.
But this is the most classic Who title. I hope there's a twang in it. I really hope there is.
Are the ambassadors back?
Yeah, is that the big bad of the season? How many beans make 5?
I mean, it was theorized for a while that the Daleks were going to be the big bad of the finale. But I don't. Given all the more supernatural direction they've been going in, it would feel weird for that to be a finale threat. I feel like it is going to be something that more goes along with those thematic lines that Doctor Who is running with at the moment.
Yeah.
But certainly, I mean, I feel like this is where we're going to see that shot of Ncuti screaming no inside the TARDIS, where it's just completely black outside. Because, the little teaser image or video gives that vibe. Also, it's
the same outfit,
the jacket costume, yeah. So it looks like that's perhaps what we're building to.
Could it be the Beast or the One Who Waits? Could that, or the boss?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we're meant to find out who the boss is this season, aren't we? I believe.
Okay.
I think that was what they said when they were talking about.
Was that the Envision commentary?
Yeah. I think David doesn't know, does he? But
no.
Phil Collinson did. Not Phil Coulson. Stylish one. Yeah, that is our episode titles. So Empire of Death's your favourite.
Yeah.
What's your least favourite?
Probably Dot and Bubble.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Rogue's my least favourite. And then favourite 73 yards, maybe? I don't know. That's just giving off a vibe.
It's probably my second favourite, 73 yards.
The Devil's Cord, it's hard to judge against the others because we've known about that one for a while. That was revealed in a letter from a showrunner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it sort of feels like the shine's taken off that one a bit.
That's the one you kind of don't care about.
Yeah, because they did these in little half-hour
intervals,
drops, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I think it started at 2:00 and then kept going every half hour. Then at the last drop, it was the trailer at 6. So, shall we talk a bit about said trailer?
Yeah, we can.
what do you prefer, this one or the first one? Because you could sort of tell that we had a more Disney Plus centric trailer with that first one, and this feels like the BBC going, "Oh, we're going to have our own one now."
We've got to do a better version.
It always feels like a little bit of a rap battle between them.
Which is great because it's kind of that sort of one-upmanship. I would say I personally prefer this trailer.
I don't know. I get more of a good vibe feel from the first trailer, to be honest.
Okay, but I would say with both trailers, there's an energy and there's a confidence and there's a swagger, and I think that really reflects sort of Shooty.
Yeah.
And it's great to.
It's very his Doctor.
It's very his Doctor. It's great to see the show have so much confidence in itself to go, here we are. This is Doctor Who. Enjoy.
Yeah, but I very much feel like they're made to draw new viewers in as well, and sort of establish this is the rules of the show.
I think the first trailer definitely does that.
Yeah. Which I suppose is going to be the main one that wants to draw new viewers in, because it's Disney Plus one. That's where it is having its big launch for the first time,
and plus having the Church on Ruby Road stuff as well.
Yeah,
it feels like this is your first episode. So for some people that could be like a triple episode drop.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I do wonder how that's all going to shake out on there, because obviously they've got them currently as separate specials. Like they're each their own thing you have to search out and play. It's not all together in one section. So, yeah, be interesting to see whether they reorganize that by the time the series actually drops.
I imagine Church on Ruby Road will be pushed into the season 1 stuff.
You'd hope so. You think it would make sense?
Instead of being called Special 4.
Or is Space Babies going to be written in a way that
there'd be like a recap?
Yeah. Because certainly the way Church on Ruby Road ends off is inside the TARDIS for the first time, the Doctor going, I'm the Doctor, and then that's it. So, you could get a little bit of a reprise and then the Doctor explaining the mechanics of it all to Ruby before they then go off on their first adventures. It could still work as a little jumping on point. I don't know. Yeah, it all does feel a bit weird how they've approached this, but I'm sure.
I wouldn't say Church on Ruby Road's a good jumping on point.
I mean, I suppose because apparently originally they were planning for season 1 to drop like immediately after Church on Ruby Road, like go from January to February, but they pushed it back because, to work on special effects, make sure it was the best it can be. So makes you wonder how that would have affected things, because obviously there it would have worked as Church on Ruby Road, not just being a special in isolation, but also being kickstarting a new series. I mean, any standouts from the trailer?
I go back to sort of the Moffat dialogue, I assume, of the battlefield. I feel like that's going to be like the Shooty, I am the Doctor moment, It's great to see sort of there sort of being sort of defining Doctor moments in there already, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I love a lot of the shots inside the TARDIS, how much of a change in atmosphere it gets when the lights go different.
Like the anti-grav sort of stuff.
Yeah.
We start seeing that.
I mean, there's one particular shot of Shooter like in a t-shirt with orange lights behind it. So like the lighting turned down a bit to be this moody blue. That I quite like the vibe of. Yeah, it's nice that this new TARDIS set does have that variety built into it to give off a different atmosphere each time.
Yeah, because I think every light, sort of round or light is individual. Like you can program it individually.
Yeah, you sort of saw that a bit when they almost had a disco going on in there at one point. All the different lights going off differently.
but you can't. I keep going back to the visuals of like the spaceships. It's just we thought like the visuals and cinematography for Chibnall was the best the show had ever looked, but this,
we?
yeah,
Certainly not cinematography.
I think cinematography was the best the show's looked. I think for me, like Chibnall's era was quite visually stunning.
I feel like a lot of the shots are very bland and not thought through. I mean, it looks expensive. It looks like money's gone in there and the camera quality's good, but it doesn't look.
I mean, they put
that
too many
well
lens
put
flares
together
over it.
Yeah. In terms of what's on screen, doesn't always look that interesting. But yeah, here it certainly feels like a bit of a step up for the most part. I mean, you talk about some weird editing and mid shots and stuff in Ruby Road, but most part, I think, especially the Star Beast, where you had Richard Rayleigh back, that was incredible. But I mean, I loved the bit early on where what was that woman in the Regency episode. I said Rogue.
Yes,
Still refer to it as a Regency episode.
Yeah,
I think that's just
we've not memorized the
such
titles
bland-
just yet.
It's also just such a bland title. It doesn't feel right. But again, maybe it will happen in the episode. It'll all make sense. But yeah, you know, she's describing Ruby. She says rude, and then you get that rather amusing shot inside the TARDIS of Millie's reaction there.
It just feels very fresh and different, you know.
Yeah, I certainly get that vibe from a lot of it. And
But,
again, you've got that shot from the first trailer as well of the city where the dust cloud is moving in. Like that's something you'd have never seen before. Yeah, certainly flicking through it. Oh, great stuff there.
I mean, it's interesting having that little intro with Shooty. It's almost a bit of sort of like Eccleston-esque sort of trip of a lifetime, isn't it?
It almost feels like a behind the scenes shot though. Like the way it's lit and stuff when you compare it to actually not just that. The aspect ratio is different.
It's sort of the full screen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the full screen for that little specially shot bit, specifically for the trailer. But then the rest of it's all in the Chibnall aspect ratio, I suppose. That's what this came in. But in that bit at the end, where he's talking to the camera, he's back in the actual series aspect ratio.
Do you think that's sort of like a Ruby sort of POV at like the start of Space Babies?
She's not that short.
I don't know.
It's a bit of an awkward POV if she's that far down. That just gives off the vibe of especially shot for the trailer again. Yeah, it is. That very much feels like behind the scenes stuff.
Like Doctor Unleashed, yeah.
Yeah. And then you jump to the Unit HQ shot. Oh, I've just noticed actually, you can see like a crane in the background there. I don't know if is that on next to the unit building? Is that repairing it from the damage in the Giggle or? No, I think it's the building behind actually, flicking through it. That's it, which probably.
Yeah, there's 2 cranes. By the looks. Or 3 actually.
Yeah, it might be worth if I share instead.
There we go.
There we have it. But yeah, there we go. There's our
cheeky boy.
Can I see? Why can I? That's because I'm going the wrong way. There you go. There's your crane. It's on the building behind. All that discussion over a crane.
That's it. That's the thing we sort of speculate on the little details.
Yeah.
What play a big part in these things.
Ruby Mum's house. Like it got a whole crack going through it in Ruby Road, and now the TARDIS has come along and wrecked it.
Oh, unit will pay for it. It's
So,
fine.
Yeah. You got your Rose Noble back again as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the unit
Yeah,
soldier
yeah,
from
yeah.
Ibrahim
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
from the Giggle? So you could tell just from his pose, the swagger of the man. There you got that lovely shot.
Very commanding in that scene.
Yeah. Oh, you got Kate, hands on hips in the background.
I think that's the one with Lenny
Yeah.
Rush, isn't it? And
Yeah, you sort of have the shot in the vault at one point. I think that's in the first trailer. I don't think it's here. But yeah, this must be another bit of Unit HQ, I think. I think, is this first episode?
That looks it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at
The costume.
and the Doctor's costume as well. Yeah. Oh, I could have just waited.
That's a great bit of new visual of the TARDIS and the Vortex. Big fan of that.
It's wonderful. Oh, Bubble City. It's Mandalorian chapter 22.
We're gonna have Lizzo and Jack Black.
Yeah. And again, this sort of gives the vibes of something that'll be there only for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To sort of talk about the rise and fall of civilizations and like human going out into the stars and adapting.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. You're going to be really quick to get the duffel coat look.
Yeah.
You got to be super.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, he's having a peek at the TARDIS.
There he is.
73 yards.
Where's Wally? There he is.
I mean, this is also where we see the TARDIS later be like very rotten and
yeah, that's it.
decayed in the first trailer.
That reminds me of the Jodie Whittaker promo. You know, when she got the costume reveal, just that image of the TARDIS. Yeah,
or even like the her regeneration. I mean, it's not quite the same setting, but you know, be by the sea. But yeah, so I love that costume. Here we are in 60s London. Here we have our little bit of musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the part of the era you're not quite as excited for.
I think it's fine to experiment, but the Goblin song was enough for me. And Murray hasn't got a good track record of original songs. Like the song for the 50th wasn't that good. Like it was that good, it only got played at the proms and never again.
I don't know if I've ever even heard it.
You don't need to. You really don't.
Oh, God,
that's going to be space
babies. Yeah.
Are those the babies in the jar? In like the?
They look like brains.
Is it Harmony Shoal?
Maybe. Oh, here we have the Regent stuff again. Is that Jonathan Groff there? Costume though. Is that in the armor? Can you see my
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, I can see.
That'd be a bit awkward if I'm pointing at things going, is that that? Is that that? And
like, what are you pointing at? I don't know.
Very nice. There. Or perhaps they're both looking down on that. That might have been their point of view there.
Yes, could be.
Yeah. And there's the So Bridgerton moment. Ooh, a few sparks there. Bit of an awkward shot. Maybe trying to get the monster's attention there.
Yeah.
By rattling the stuff. I mean, it's funny to think that this is not this shot exactly, but in this corridor was our first glimpse of the 15th Doctor footage. Remember when we had that 60th trailer?
Yeah.
That very special one. And then towards the end, we got the shots of the 15th Doctor and Ruby. Yeah. It's funny to think that they skipped over Churchill Ruby Road straight to this. I think people were theorising that, is that Wild Blue Yonder?
Yes.
Here's the woman calling Ruby rude. There we go. Like we say, they love their Devil's Cord footage here.
They do. They're really pushing it. That's a great visual.
Coruscant.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so they're going all out with the budget. Izzy babies.
There we are, the space babies.
Is this going to be the entirety of the guest cast for the first episode?
Oh, it's going to be like gimmicky sort of voices for it. I don't know.
You sort of got a brief glimpse of one of their voices, didn't you? Oh, it looks like there's a lot of
Probably from the bogeyman.
Has the bogeyman exploded here?
Maybe it's like Slovene vinegar.
Yeah, it looks like Ruby's got a bit in her hair there. She usually looks fairly clean though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just Ruby who's got a bit. Maybe it's brushed against something, or it might be its lair. We're going straight to the morbid stuff of it exploding. Oh, here they are in the TARDIS again. Looks like someone else is in the TARDIS here. Because Ruby's definitely talking to someone closer to the door. And you got the Doctor over there. I can't remember exactly what she says here.
Is it Mrs. Flood?
Maybe.
Oh, there's the slug.
Yeah, forward.
Also,
it looks like has someone got like a video game headset on or something?
Like a VR?
Yeah. Certainly say.
Well, we see like people get like absorbed into them, don't we?
Yeah.
So it's like a hungry caterpillar and it like gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Not sure who this is.
The Rani.
Yeah, that's your shot from that trailer.
Yeah.
That was our first look at Shooty proper as the Doctor. That's your bogeyman. I mean, this is very nicely done. It's sort of hard to tell when set stops and CGI begins.
Because aren't they using the same sort of technology as the Mandalorian, like the
volume? I think Sony had something similar built, didn't they? I don't know whether it's been ready at this time or not, though. But yeah, I think they set something that up, around a Bad Wolf studio. Yeah, sound stage. Yeah, I think that was what I thought might be the spaceship from Space Babies. But now that
look at there's a bit.
I think it's all like the curves of it, but at the same time, I think it could just be anything. Got the universe dying.
That's got to be from the finale. That's probably 73 yards.
It certainly feels like there's a lot in this trailer for just 8 episodes. Which makes you wonder how much is going to be going on in some of these. Got Ruby leading the way there. Here you get your big explosion going on.
You're not Daleks.
There's have we got a character's name? I can't remember whether we did or not.
I think we have.
I think she's just been said to be playing the Doctor's worst ever enemy.
Oh, they say that every series.
Yeah, the greatest foe the Doctor's ever faced. Devil's Called again. Oh, there we go. There's that.
That's some great visuals
again. Yeah. Again, it's nice. Again, you can't tell where set stops and CGI. But presumably, this is all CGI at this point. But pretty amazing how that all comes together. Some beautiful, very close-up shots here. Yeah, that's the one I was on about earlier.
Yeah,
the lighting of the TARDIS is probably my favorite lighting for this set I've had so far. Yeah, this is your favorite little bit.
Yeah, it's just so Doctor-y, isn't it?
The bit that throws it off for me is when he goes, and dust again. You've already mentioned dust. I think it's something that would work in the episode. It's something that's probably fine there. But just in a trailer, it feels a bit weird for him to be repeating. It's almost like he's running out of things to say.
Yeah.
It's like he's struggling to think of words, so he's like, dust. Here we are in the vortex.
They're making quite a point of using the title sequence, and we've said that the vortex is going to get a bit more lively. With like the electric, like the thunderbolt on the TARDIS.
Yeah, I do like this shot here. This feels
Hmm.
like more of a towards the end of the episode shot. You know, this is your
Resolution after
this is your
resolution.
villains are defeated. This is your quiet moment where the Doctor's
Ruby's gonna come behind, going, "You're right."
yeah, have the little chat. We'll see if that plays out. Here we are, Rogue again, Regency episode. Oh, it's wonderful the transitions they get going there. I love that in the first trailer as well, where you get the cha-cha-cha changes, but so this is Ruby Road?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, literally Ruby Road. Here we go, cliff top again. Oh, is this our but this isn't that same cliff top.
No, this is your dinosaurs.
Yeah. So this must be like first trip right at the start of Space Babies.
Yeah.
And then you get your little butterfly gag. Then you go into title sequence, then Space Babies episode proper, similar to Wild Blue Yonder. Because yeah, that's very much a oh my gosh, I've just travelled in time face.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what sort of setting's this? Because yeah, it's Regency.
Yeah.
That don't look like a
looks like a hidden realm, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost more not quite tropical, but at the same time does not look like it's
looks a bit Lord of the Rings elf.
Yeah, a bit more fantasy vibe to it, which again is what the series is going for. But I mean, this is something that was interesting because a lot of people were saying, "How's the Doctor managed to step on that great big mine and not realised?" Well, obviously it's camouflaged. Yeah, futuristic. There you go. That's the oh my gosh, just stepped on a mine face. Is this from a musical number here? Maybe.
That's my face when it's another musical number.
Wrapped up in The Devil's Chord.
That looks very impressive.
Yeah. Again, we go for
and that does look really impressive.
Very nice. Yeah, and then this ship again, satellite. Yeah, this shot we've seen it loads of times.
I think the costume looks different though from what we've seen originally. So I think it's been like his traditional brown leather jacket, but that looks like the
leather, black leather jacket.
Yeah, the black one.
Wonderful shots of space here.
There we go. Another musical number.
Oh, this one's gorgeous.
That's very doctory, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like that's the resolution. It feels like he's just breathed life into the butterfly. Happy that it's flying off. Ruby's back to normal.
The
sprinkler's gone off, or is it just?
Yeah, I think so.
Ruby's getting involved. Bit of song and dance.
Oh, he's going back to Bernardo. Look there. Yeah. There he is.
It's such a good look.
And you know it's only going to be like the least amount of screen time in this series. That costume.
Are we going to get a figure of it?
I reckon we could get that one actually, because you could use the Harry Sullivan duffel coat.
Yeah. Such a cozy look as well.
Very Paddington Bear in a way.
Yeah. Very much so. Again, looks like Space Babies based on the outfit. Perhaps at the end of First Adventure, perhaps before they even leave the TARDIS for the first time. This might be her, right, let's go see dinosaurs face.
Yeah. That looks like it's the finale, isn't it?
Yeah. I know. And it's the end of the trailer.
It's all exciting stuff, isn't
it? I'm more interested for the 60s episode and Rogue episode in Doctor Who, says Daniel Hager.
No, I mean, the 60s episode, Devil's Chord, they're pushing it, so I can understand the excitement for that one.
Yeah, like sometimes the one you see the most from is the one you're most excited for. And sometimes the one you see the least from is the one you're most excited for. Because you're like, oh, what are they hiding there?
Yeah, like Wild Blue Yonder.
Yeah, Wild Blue Yonder was the one I was going to give for as the example there. definitely does give that vibe. Stylish one asked, "Do you buy DWM, Luke?" I don't. I just get the download from people who have. Do you still have a subscription to it? Still getting yours in the post?
Alright, there we are. There's old Millie, the latest one.
Yeah.
Check out our review for that.
Yeah.
There we go.
That cover art grows on me every time I see it.
It is good. It's good cover art.
I mean, speaking of Big Finish, so we discuss some Big Finish news before we close this out.
Yeah, why not?
It's usually our typical live stream thing. We've not done a news video in a little while, so we've got some stuff we're still yet to talk about. I mean,
well, it's kind of been itty bits of news where it's not been enough to sort of do like a standard news video, and then when we want to do a news video, it's kind of outdated.
Yeah,
so
we might as well catch up on it all now. But I mean, since we're on the topic of musical numbers, shall we talk about this cover art?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go.
Oh dear, not the story, but yeah, the cover art. It's so naughties, isn't it?
Gives off a vibe, really does. I think it's amazing how well edited Yanto's head is onto that body. Like that seamless job. Not sure about the tortured necklace. That stands out a little bit, but overall, I'm vibing with it.
Are you going to pick it up?
I might do. It's one of those. I'll see how the Tube Strike pans out, because I have got that one from the anthology. So maybe that'll persuade me to carry on and get Missing Molly and Disco as well. But yeah, this is sort of an episode looking back at Yanto's past and specifically his dad. And apparently it links to I Hate Mondays as well, the box set.
Oh, okay.
I mean, are you tempted to buy either of those?
No.
Might as well also throw the cover up for that when I find it.
I think for me with the tortured stuff is get the ones that interest me, but there's enough Big Finish out there, so I don't feel like I'm missing out.
No. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get I Hate Mondays or not. I feel like I've been getting a lot of tortured recently, so I need to actually start listening to some of what I do have. At this point, there's so much coming out. You don't have time to listen to it all sometimes. Luckily, April seems a bit of a quieter month, so it should be time to play a bit of catch up, maybe. Yeah, so it's nice getting Tim Bentinck on the covers as well. He was also on the Tube Strike cover as well. So it's nice that he's worked his way up from just being a little guest character in the earlier volumes to then becoming a part of the starring lineup in Nightmares, finally getting his face on the cover for I Hate Mondays. There we go. I mean, what other news have we had?
We had War Doctor Rises.
Yeah.
That's the big bit of news, I'd say.
Yeah, that's the big bit of news from last week.
Were
you expecting it?
No, it was so left field when you messaged me saying, "Oh, War Doctor Rises," and I was like, "What?" And then I checked, and there it was.
It was an early morning drop as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like 10 o'clock. Like, not as early as Goth Opera.
No, not quite. Yeah, I mean, it's weird how they've been doing that recently. Not that I mind, it's just...
No, it's great. But whether they're just getting all the news out before Shooty, because it's going to sort of be maybe sort of tumbleweed time.
Yeah. Usually is the case when new episodes drop in. Things get a bit quieter on the Big Finish front. But yeah, certainly. I mean, what's exciting about this, though, is that this is writer-led. It's one writer per box set getting to play out a whole audio movie, as David Richardson puts it, and build up all the characters and stuff within that. It worked very well when Rob Valentine did that with He Who Fights with Monsters.
which is the best of the War Doctor Begins box sets.
Yeah. And I think with any of the Big Finish box sets, really, these are the ones that stand out to us because with your individual episode ones, you always have the couple that don't really interest you, or so you're getting it just for one specific one. Here, it's nice to really be going in looking forward to the whole box set. We hope. We have no details beyond the fact that each box set is going to be led by one writer, and the first one drops in August.
I mean, our favourite box set of last year was Dora River Song from the Family, which was all done by Tim Foley.
Which
so,
very much feels like the beginning of the push for this.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when David Richard in particular, because he's been the one pushing this, looked at that and thought, there's something in this approach. Let's try applying that across a couple of more box sets. I mean, so it seems to be the same thing they're going for with Dark Gallifrey as well, doesn't there?
But I think Dark Gallifrey is kind of a different case.
Yeah, it's a different beast. Because that's very much all interlinked. But with this, I think particularly for the Time War stuff, it works so much better to have it be longer form storytelling.
It makes it feel more epic, doesn't it?
Yeah. Whereas when you have your things being wrapped up in an hour slot, it sometimes stifles that feel a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how even in the quote, David Richards says there are no boundaries on creativity, no pressure to tie up a story within an hour, which makes you think you were doing that before. You were putting pressure on. There were boundaries on creativity. I mean, it's funny when they say writer-led stuff. Shouldn't it always be writer-led? But then you think you have your whole shopping list approach,
want and future
and stuff, which you very much feel the creativity perhaps being stifled a bit in some cases there. So yeah, it's nice to see that this is something that they're pushing for going forward. Yeah, hopefully not taken over completely, because it is nice having, variety in length of stories. But nevertheless, I think particularly for the War Doctor going forward, this is the right choice. I mean, it's pretty much what the Third Doctor's got at the moment, despite the Jo Jones box set. All the others are, one story per box set.
But yeah, I'm going to be picking those up.
Yeah, I will too. I mean, especially if based on what we had with the cover up for in name only, if we're getting, photo real covers with the War Doctor, that'll be very exciting to see what creative things can be done there. So certainly, the painted style got a bit stale with the War Doctor towards the end for me.
It works for sort of probably like the beginning of the War Doctor because of sort of John Hurt's sort of likeness, maybe.
But they seem to have got around that now.
Oh,
based on in name only. So hopefully, we'll see that continue here with War Doctor Rises. I mean, they are a bit more expensive than the previous War Doctor box sets now. They've shot up to the new standard price for a triple CD set of $22.99 for physical and $18.99 for download.
Have they said that these are limited at all?
Don't know.
Because they've been going pretty hard on this is limited to.
Not yet.
I assume they will be.
Yeah. I think that's usually when the details drop, they say, whether they're limited or not. It's usually about 1,500. I don't think Dominant Species says it's limited yet. The third volume of Fourth Doctor Adventures series. Yeah, that doesn't say anything about it yet. But both volumes 1 and 2 were. So I imagine that'll come when the story details drop. It does feel like that's the case across the board now. Each thing is going to be limited in one way or another. I don't think Sometimes versus Rutensis, though.
No, I don't think so.
I
Unless
suppose
that,
they take up a bit less space because they're single releases. Maybe that's how it works.
but it's interesting that they're going up in price, aren't they? Like the pre-order price.
Yeah, the standard price for them is $9.99 for download and $11.99 for CD. Like after a couple of months, yeah, it should be that. Which it's just everything going up across the board, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at that and think it's a one disc set and it is costing more and more. And yeah, I'm curious when we get some 2-disc sets again,
Mm-hmm.
if they'll be like, if we get any more Lost Stories, if they'll be like the what is it? Luther Arkwright and Omega Factor,
Mm.
because they were, I think, $12.99 for download pre-order and $15.99 for CD. But now that the pre-order pricing has expired, it's shot up to $17.99 for CD and $14.99 for download for just
That's
the
a
2 discs.
lot. That's a lot. That is.
So yeah, if that's the new standard for those, will it also be the case when it comes to Doctor Who CDs? Because often Doctor Who ones are the last to go up.
Yeah.
Like when you look at things like Torchwood's Among Us, or specifically the first Among Us is Aliens and God. Those were a bit more pricey. Jago Lightfoot was always a bit more pricey as well.
Well, they're just such a good quality.
Yeah. It's like Doctor Who tends to be one of the last ones to go up, unless it's Eccleston.
Yeah, well, it's nice to know that Eccleston's selling that well.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of stylish ones, says, I don't think Eccleston sets will be limited as they are probably long-term sellers and the CDs probably best sellers. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because they do have the limited number on the vinyls to 500, but they're still going.
Yeah.
100 or was it 1,000? I'm pretty sure.
1,000, I think.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah. And they're still going, so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'll limit Eccleston anytime soon. I really hope we get photoreal covers for First Doctor Adventures and Second Doctor Adventures.
I think it'd be interesting when we get the Second Doctor cover, whether that's got the painted style.
Yeah, I think that'll be our proper test, because a lot of the other ranges that used to have the painted style have sort of come to an end now, or at least don't have anything more announced. I mean, Sixth Doctor Adventures, that switched over to Sean Longmore now. So yeah, will Second Doctor Adventures make a change? I hope so, because when you look at the covers like the Jamie cover, it doesn't.
I think that's the worst
feel
cover.
Yeah, I think it definitely could do with photoreal style. Really, you know, when you look at what Sean Longmore did with the Annihilators, it'd be wonderful to have him working on there. But I'd say he does a bloody lot for him, so I wouldn't mind.
Look at the new Tom Webster.
Getting a chance. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's taken over Eighth Doctor as well. He did a few Fourth Doctor last year. I mean, it'd be nice to see someone like Rafe Wallbank be given the Second Doctor Adventures. He did the recent interludes artwork.
That was a good cover.
Yeah, might as well talk about that now quickly. If I can find it. Here it is. Here we go. So this is Meanwhile Turlo. This is a Rafe Wallbank artwork, which is wonderful. I mean, he's been a great artist for a while, but I think this might show his continual improvement. This might be his best yet. Yeah,
I think so.
See him do something you can actually get physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is our Fifth Doctor one coming out sometime next month.
Is the Sixth Doctor interlude out yet, or is that after
No,
this
that's
one?
coming out somewhere in April. They've not quite confirmed when yet. That's the Ultimate Poe.
So if you've ordered Quinn Dilemma from Big Finish, you'll get that.
But apparently this story was inspired by the fact that in a lot of Turlough's TV stories, he's off sort of doing his own thing in the B plot, ambling around for a while the Doctor and Tegan get on the main plot. So this is almost, giving his wanderings the highlight treatment and having that be the main plot while the Doctor and Tegan are in the background for this one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, a neat idea there. Yeah, so I rate that. I have a theory. Do you think War Master Future Phantoms could feature either Missy, Sim, or Dewan, or even McQueen and Jacoby as the Future Phantom? More McQueen would be great. Oh, I'd love more McQueen. I wish we had McQueen and Dark Gallifrey.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
I'd
great.
pre-ordered it day one with McQueen.
As great as Jacoby, Missy, and Eric Roberts are, they've got their own stuff series. Why not let the B team have a go?
I mean, Crispy's making a comeback with Last Day and Metamorphosis. So why not McQueen? Because we've not heard from him since Masterful.
Yeah, that's true. And before that, Dark Eyes 4. I think. No. Two Masters.
Oh, yeah.
But even at that, only 2016. So Two Masters, we should do a throwback.
We should too. Add that to the list.
Yeah. I mean, if they bring McQueen back, perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
We do have Beavers back in June.
We do.
Twice in June, actually, because he'll also be in the Last Day too. So maybe. Stardish will also ask thoughts on the news that the relaunch box sets haven't been selling as well as Big Finish hoped. Where was this news discussed, Stardish one? Because
I think it's more of an experiment, really, with the individual releases.
Yeah, could that be the direction that some of the relaunch stuff is going to go? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I've not heard where that's from, so you'll have to enlighten us a little bit there. This news was on a podcast, Big Finish podcast or podcast. So I feel, it'd be kind of weird if they admitted on their own podcast that these aren't selling as well. I mean, they do it for things like the novel adaptations when it's already over.
Yeah.
But admitting it in them while they're still ongoing. Yeah. Interesting context there.
I mean, Big Finish are normally pretty coy on sales anyway.
Yeah. So I just want to say it was the episode a week or two ago. Yes, it was the official Big Finish podcast.
Okay.
Listeners' emails, perhaps? I can't imagine anywhere else it would come up.
Yeah, be any time, really.
Yeah. I wonder if perhaps someone was asking about the rise of individual releases. And Nick Bridge mentioned box sets haven't been doing as great, perhaps.
Maybe that's why we've got the limited edition CD pressings as more of an incentive to pre-order it, so you're guaranteed a copy.
And also just so that they don't produce too many and get stuck with a load of them.
Yeah.
Do you know when is the last release of Wanted Future coming out and why it is taking so long? Asks Oliver Kerins. November this year should be when the code comes along. Apparently, the reason it was delayed is something to do with tying into the new series somehow.
Yeah, the 60th specials, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah. Apparently, it'll be clear when it comes along exactly why it was delayed. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But yeah, November is coming. It's more going to be a 61st anniversary special.
I mean, the time you get the CD,
It'd be a 62nd.
yeah, because the last two, Union and Time Lord Immemorial, have finally shown up, which, you know, it's nice to have.
Yeah,
Those finally.
yeah, it is. Sapphire and Steel, they're back.
Yeah, which is great, but
Yeah.
they finally managed to sort out the license for that.
Over 10 years they've been unavailable for.
So it feels great to have the missing David Warner project.
Yeah, you're a big David Warner fan, aren't you?
I
Have you
do
picked
like
these up
David Warner. No, I've not picked them up yet, but I definitely want to check them out.
Yeah. You waiting for a sale? I don't know if they're going to shoot up in price or not.
They probably will go up on. I feel
Yeah,
like if they do like a
way.
David Warner sale, they might drop them down a little bit. Maybe, I don't know.
Sarge says, I was reading the Big Finish Companion and did not know Big Finish did Highlander audios. Hopefully those rights were resolved.
Yeah, they did 2 series of those, I think.
Didn't they do what was that series that Peter Davison started in the 80s?
Oh, Tomorrow's People.
Yeah, that was it.
Mhm.
They did those audios as well, didn't they? But I think, yeah, that was launched as a TV series over in America, and so the rights got taken away, and then the TV series died, but the rights never came back. Jackie Green said that was a fab series. I really enjoyed Sapphire and Steel. Nice to see them available on download. Yeah, I do really like the TV series. I should probably check out some of those. I remember it was the panel at Big Finish Day 2020, the online one, where it was Paul McGann and Alex Kingston discussing stuff, and they said, "Oh, have you done Sapphire and Steel? We could be your Sapphire and Steel." And so now that the rights issues are resolved for the old stuff, could we get a Sapphire and Steel continuation with Paul McGann and Alex Kingston?
Well,
I mean, to do it, and they're both always around the Big Finish studios, it seems.
Well, normally when we get a bit of news like that, we get a new announcement, don't we? Like the novel adaptations went on sale a couple of days later. We got Goth Opera.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows? We could see the revival of it and be perfect timing for it.
Do you think with Space 1999 ending, Big Finish losing the rights, they will disappear? I'm not so sure. I feel like they're a bit more friendly with Anderson Entertainment.
Yeah,
Stuff. So I feel like that's
Jamie Anderson, don't they?
Yeah,
so I think it'll be fine.
You'd sort of hope that stuff's built in, but at the same time, you never can be too sure. Like we had that situation with the Robert Banks Stewart audios, not being available for a while. So yeah, I think with these things, you never want to take them for granted. So if any of you out there are into your Space 1999 and haven't picked up any of the Big Finish ones yet, maybe do it now. I mean, I imagine Big Finish would give a notice. Actually, I don't know if they legally can they?
No, I think it was sort of an overnight thing.
Yeah, something would
just happen.
Was that with the Sapphire and Steel ones?
I think and Tomorrow's People, but it just went.
So yeah, it just happened. So yeah, maybe not. I'm sure they'd like to keep a warning, but yeah, perhaps they cannot. Yeah, what was the latest one? That was May last year. I wonder if they wrapped that up or if that just sort of got left hanging. Because I think UFO, the rights there sort of went a bit up in the air as well, or perhaps they just didn't sell as well. We had our Benny news as well. I mean, on the topic of individual releases.
Yeah.
So we've got the Eternity Club.
There we go. Oh, there we are.
Yeah. And he joins a society of intergalactic adventurers in the new audio drama series from Big Finish Productions, due for release in 4 monthly installments beginning in September 2024. Oh yeah, it's weird how this is laid out because it is half-hour episodes, but being spread across individual releases. So again, this is one that very much feels like it was planned and written as a box set. It's 2 writers as well, James Goss and Tim Foley, which is exciting because they're both very good writers. Dave, how do you feel about this one? Because I feel like you're a bigger Benny fan than I.
It feels weird that they're continuing the new adventures. I feel like this should have been a sort of a new soft reboot. The new adventures have been going on for 9 years now.
Yeah, they're not quite new anymore.
They're not
No.
quite new.
No, it'd be 10 years, won't it?
No, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
2014.
2014. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
I mean, it's not quite 10 years yet, but it will be in
the time they at
months,
least come out.
probably
Yeah,
in June. Yeah.
I can't say I'm not enthralled by them.
I think it's an interesting concept.
It's an interesting concept, but if it was a box set, I'd probably be more inclined to pick it up.
Yeah.
I think the price this kind of priced me out of checking
And
it
in
out.
a way, it's not individual cover art because it's 2 stories a set. Yeah, certainly. The price here is one where you're a bit like, ooh, maybe that is too high.
And obviously, it's limited, so there's that sort of thing of, will I want it in the future? Do I buy it now just to save money in the future if I want it? I don't know.
I love some of these episode titles, like "Please retain your ticket for the cloakroom." The terrible shame of a tree. Like, it looks very fun. It's sort of given me Time and Office vibes with the fact that it's these half-hour episodes. Yeah, again, like you say, it is just the whole feeling a bit priced out by it thing. It'll be a wait and see if the covers and trailers enthrall us a bit more.
And I guess whatever's coming out around about that same time.
Yeah, that's true. If there's things that are more interesting, you gotta, cut some things off. Yeah. It's also odd that the whole thing is called Volume 8.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to see how they deal with that on the covers. But yeah.
Well, you said on Star Ops that you've got part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, they're sort of still titled like box sets. So you got the whole thing is called Blood Moon, but
because Luke is the biggest Star Ops fan, he knows all these details.
But it's odd how it's never mentioned anywhere else. But yeah, let's throw this up. So you get this month's Star Ops. So you got Blood Moon 1 Part 3. And then the next month's one is Blood Moon 2 Part 1. Which, sort of works fine when it's 2 box sets, which is presumably planned as.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's individual releases, 1 each month, it all coming out in a 6-month period, it sort of feels weird to do that. Like, why not just call the whole thing Blood Moon Parts 1 to 6 and be done with it?
Yeah, it's odd. Maybe it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not going to keep me up at night or anything.
No.
It just feels like a bit of an odd choice, especially when it's not mentioned anywhere else. Like, you can't there aren't bundles available for Blood Moon 1 and Blood Moon 2. It's just a single Blood Moon bundle.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It does just feel like an odd hangover from something that was planned as a box set. Releases, but for some reason they didn't drop which box set was which. How is the recent Star Ops, Luke?
Yeah, how is it, Luke?
Oh, brilliant! You should pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, you mention it in tomorrow's video, so you get the lowdown there.
Predictions for what will be announced at Big Finish Day: 9 and Rose, more 10, next slate of 4th Doctor Adventures, another further adventures set, more River news.
I reckon the 50th 4th Doctor plans.
Yeah, that feels about right timing wise. Yeah. So I mean, we always expect more than there actually is. I think we need to look back at previous Big Finish days to see how little was actually announced there.
I mean,
I
when
don't
I
mean that as
went,
badly. I don't have to.
because when I went to my last Big Finish day, it was Triumph Sutek. That's what they announced. Hopefully, we'll both be at Big Finish Day. So we can do live on the ground news reveal there.
But yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I feel like 50th of Fourth Doctor will be the one there. I mean, Nine and Rose would be nice. I feel like if that is happening, they'll be saving that for March next year.
Yeah.
To announce, to release. Unless it takes a while to record, in which case I'll announce it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, March next year feels like the right time to do Nine and Rose, because 20 years of Rose. They're always the one.
That's horrible.
I mean, we just got past the 19 years of Rose. If you haven't watched that video that we did talking about that, please do check it out after this.
Yeah, please do.
If you're not fed up with us by the time the stream ends and you want more of us,
I'm just enjoying chilling.
Records. Yeah,
it's a lot. That's a lot. Plenty more in the pipeline as well.
I mean, is that all the Big Finish news? Is there anything we forgot? Because I was sort of just skipping. Ninth Doctor and River Song.
Oh yeah, of course. That feels so long ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, but no, we never actually shared our thoughts on this.
There we are, Starcrossed. I thought this was a Star Cops crossover because that guy looked like he's from Star Cops. But I don't think it is.
No. I mean, it's interesting choice of picture for the Ninth Doctor there.
He's playing catch from Strike.
Oh.
From that cover.
I don't know about this cover. Feels a bit rough to me. Well, hopefully individual ones be bangers though. That often seems to be the way at box sets. If you have individual covers, they end up being better than the main cover.
Yeah.
So this is River Song in all three stories, which is nice to see.
Not like Benny.
Yeah. It's still three separate-ish stories. I don't know how much crossover there's going to be there. But yeah, certainly it is nice to at least have something resembling an arc for a box set. Ninth Doctor has been very standalone for a good while now. And yeah, like we said earlier with our long-form storytelling preferences, that's the way we prefer it. But yeah, so we've got Swipe Right by John Dorney, which is set on a Tinder-based planet, I suppose. Where's the exact quote?
That's very River Song.
So it gives off a similar vibe to Like from
Sixth Doctor and Perry.
Yeah. And perhaps a little bit of expiry dating as well, which is a very good story. With again, another River Song one, 10th Doctor River Song. It is weird sort of having this be part of the ongoing Ninth Doctor adventures, whereas 10th Doctor and River Song was very specifically its own thing, wasn't volume 4 of that series. Here it is. They visit a planet in thrall to a dating app, an intergalactic bank with a catastrophic glitch, which is Face of the Apocalypse by Lizzie Hopley, I assume. And a raging maelstrom, fantastic, which would be Archipelago. Oh no, it's Waterworlds all over again.
Oh
That's
no.
It's the Tim Foley one close.
Okay. It'll be a banger. It'll be a banger.
Yeah, see this one. Do you think it's going to be River actually in the TARDIS for 3 episodes, or is it going to be similar to 10th Doctor and River Song, where it's different encounters with River across a period in the Doctor's life?
I would like it to be the first option, but realistically, it'll be the second.
Yeah. Or just, even if she's not in a TARDIS, have them be back to back still somehow.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I think it would be nicer to have it that way so that you don't have to go through the whole them bumping into each other thing. And I suppose with the memory wipe that presumably has to happen, it makes more sense to just have that at the end rather than do 3 separate memory wipes.
Or it's to do like the Tinder thing where if you swipe a certain way, the memory gets wiped, and that's how it gets resolved.
Maybe. Stylish One also says Missy news. Thoughts on Missy series?
Oh yeah, we totally didn't forget about covering that.
Even though it was in the cover. Thumbnail, sorry.
Oops.
Are you going to pick up Missy?
No. No. I mean, I've not picked up any of the others.
It's a gorgeous piece of cover art.
It's great. One of the best cover arts this year so far. But yeah, I've got a budget. Missy's not in that budget.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was. There was one quote I particularly liked in this article about, him being the domestic doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Only got Alex Kingston here saying, this is the first time I've had an opportunity to work with Chris as Doctor. It's a challenge for River to step into his interpretation and navigate it. He's got a different energy to any of the other Doctors. He has to work harder to engage him, to get through to him, which is great fun. I mean, yeah, that's an exciting way of looking at it as well.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how these two go together. I imagine there'll be a bit more aggro between them than usual.
Yes.
That should be exciting. Stylish One asks, which Doctors would you prefer long form stories for, and which would you prefer individual stories for? Sort of want a mix on both fronts, really.
I think First Doctor suits possibly the short form.
Sometimes.
I love the Demon Song. I love the Miniaturist. But I think that was a great way with maybe the odd 4-parter. That'd be all right. I think Second Doctor, you kind of want the long form.
Yeah. But at the same time, with what I'd prefer it to be like what they're doing to Third Doctor Adventures, though.
Yeah.
Like where it's just set across his era. Go back Series 6 territory, have Sixth Doctor, Jamie and Zoe.
I mean,
for a 6-parter that's standalone. Whereas when it comes to this ongoing arc they've got going on, I don't know if that suits individual a bit more.
I think this is what ties into Stylish One's other question. Can I ask an honest question? What is it about the Second Doctor Adventures aren't appealing to you? I have to ask, they're being incredibly well received by many and being bestsellers, as it's been voted the second best release. And I've seen nothing but praise from most people. Not trying to be condescending, I'm genuinely asking, as it's always interesting when you can hear an alternative viewpoint.
That's quite understandable, Stylish One. And I think again it is just the comparison of, I'd prefer it to be what we get with the Third Doctor Adventures, just from across his era. I don't think this overarching story is working for the Second Doctor.
And being one box set a year?
Yeah. Like, it's very hard to tell where this arc is going to be going. It doesn't feel like there's much of a plan for it yet, at least not that's on display. I mean,
and it feels quite repetitive already.
Yeah. Yeah, like Raven is grating on me a bit as a character. It does feel like what's going on with her is quite repetitive. It feels like it's trying to have best of both worlds as well, with these individual stories, but also an ongoing arc. But neither of these seem to be paying off well for me.
Yeah, I think if we knew how long it was going to run for, so if it was just 4 box sets, that's it. That'd be great. I think it's the unknown of going, okay, how long are we going to be treading in this ground? Because I like the idea of season 6B, but I don't think it's been utilized yet.
No, it sort of feels pretty bland what they've done with it so far.
It feels kind of safe, Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's it really. But I mean, back to the other question of which Doctors prefer long form stories for. Okay, sort of third Doctor more in the mood for slightly shorter ones, like a 4-parter again, just to again mix that up. Again, it depends on what you've had before it. Like with the Ninth Doctor, probably the reason I'm itching for a longer form storytelling is because we've had so many 1-hour stories. It's just getting that variety there. So there probably are some Doctors it suits a bit more though. Like Third Doctor very much suits the long form one. That has been working very well for the Third Doctor Adventures at the moment, even though I would like it mixed up.
I think series 12 of the Fourth Doctor was great. It was a nice balance of both.
Be nice to get a 6-part Fourth Doctor one though. That isn't for the sense.
God of Phantoms. No. I thought about that one the other day, and I thought, no, don't do that to yourself, Ben.
I mean, War Master. I mean, it's not a Doctor, but War Master certainly works better in the longer form stuff than the individual episodes. I think when you compare that range at its height to where it's at now, that's certainly one of the differences.
There's been a drop.
Makes me think, yeah. War Doctor certainly suits longer form as well. Be interested to see what this 8th Doctor Time War Uncharted's like. What exactly that's going for. I mean, 5th Doctor, I think, works fine either way.
Yeah. I think we've had the best of both worlds with that.
Yeah. 6th Doctor, meanwhile, I'm itching for more longer form stuff because we have had a lot of, 2-parters and even 1-parters kind of with the recent Quinn Dynamo set. Or is it a 6-parter? Who knows? It's hard to judge that one. I mean, any other ones that jump out to you? Wise?
McGann's fine as he is. I think what we're getting with McGann now is fresh air.
Yeah, good balance.
McCoy, I don't really know with McCoy because it feels like they're doing all manner of things with him.
Yeah, they've already got the variety there because we've had 4-parters, 2-parters, 3-parters, now a 12-parter. How well that's going, I don't know.
Yeah.
But certainly at least trying it. Yeah. I mean, I think McCoy could definitely work for a longer form story of him like in the background plotting it out. Yeah. But at the same time, I did very much enjoy the 3-parters with McCoy. I feel like Far From Home is the best set he's had in memory.
Thoughts on Juliet Landau returning?
I'm assuming this was said by her at a convention or something.
Yeah. Convention, I think Stylish one said.
Probably not already. Is it going to be Gallifrey War Room?
Yeah, I mean, maybe because we've not had much Lala Ward, they just want to fill the Romana gap.
Yeah.
Because I know Lala Ward was, I guess, offended. So they're like, no, I am Romana.
Treat this as their way of getting her back. They're like, oh, right, bring back Juliet Landau.
Yeah,
Lala Ward will write us a upset email, and we'd be like, oh, no, we're sorry. Why don't you come back and record some more with us?
Why don't you? We've got Tom Baker.
They worked together though, didn't they? On Luna Romana, or was that Mary Town?
No, that was all the Romanas, wasn't it?
Passed by that point.
That was all the Romanas. That was a multi-Romana story.
Yeah, but actor-wise, it was Julia and Lala, wasn't it?
And Terry Malloy, yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, there's room for her still. I don't. It'll probably be in a release that we're not picking up. So I
Unless
can't
it's
really
Dark
say I
Gallifrey.
apologise. Yeah, could
I don't
be.
know.
Speaking of, Sidesman also asks hopes for the unannounced Dark Gallifrey audios, the 9, the 12 Omega tracks. Okay, let's count it off on our fingers what we've got.
Yeah.
So we've got Morbius. I say count it off our fingers, and I'm not even in vision. You'll have to. You show your hand. Come on, Morbius. War Master, Missy, Master, and the Monk.
You got the Nun?
Yeah. Could they be together though? Or could they be
Maybe.
separate? Who knows? But yeah, so we've got room for 2 or 3. Yeah. I feel like if it's gonna be one of the 9/11s union, the number lot, I'd prefer the 11. Even though we've had a lot of them anyway.
Even after that 6th Doctor box set.
Yeah. I mean, the best part of that 6th Doctor box set was the one where he was on his own.
That is true.
So, yeah, I feel like I'd prefer the 11 over the 9. Or who else we had now? We had the 2, we had the 12, we had the Union.
We've had the 6.
Have we had the 6? Oh, do I not know about this?
You don't know.
Oh, okay. Ooh, who knows what that could be then? Is it something I've got but not listened to yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I'm looking forward to this, whatever this is. Is this my incentive to start listening to?
Yeah, I don't want to say what it is.
I honestly cannot think what it is. But there we go.
When it clicks, you're like, oh yeah, it's that. You'll get it.
Yeah, the 6 is the mad one, isn't he?
Yeah,
like the extra violent one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. But yeah, I feel like the 11 would be my choice for Dark Gallifrey. Who else? Omega certainly would be interesting.
I want Dr. Ogron.
There we go. Especially with Omega inspired, since this is supposedly inspired by the Villains trilogy. That'd work.
Maybe Rassilon?
Yeah, maybe Richard Armitage. I mean, Alex McQueen's master would be nice, but at the same time, we've already got 3 different.
Too many masters.
Yeah, so you sort of wonder, have we pushed it a bit too far there? I mean, Rani, but rights issue wise,
yeah, we don't know where we're at with that unless that's like a surprise.
Yeah, what other renegade Time Lords are there? Maxil, could we get Colin Baker?
Yeah, that is true. Actually, yeah, I can see that.
Oh, he's not. Did he go renegade in Gallifrey?
I don't know. I've not listened to his Gallifrey stuff.
So certainly, he wasn't the nicest in Arc Infinity, but he was quite a villain either. Barusa?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's room there. But yeah, the main one that I would like is the 11, I think. Yeah, of the ones that we don't have announced.
Yeah, I think we're almost done here, aren't we?
Yeah, I do wonder what this 6 audio is still.
Oh,
I mean, don't say it live.
I don't want to spoil it.
It'll spoil it for other people. You can spoil it for me when we're done.
Okay. You'll kick yourself. You'll know it.
I'll realise exactly what it is. Yeah, there we go. We've had a look through the new trailer. We've discussed some episode titles. We've gone live again. Here we've shown our faces. We proved that
we're still here.
We didn't just bulk record and then one of us killed another a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been difficult given that we were talking about recent things.
AI'd one of our voices, but yeah, we're still kicking. We're still planning on doing streams despite them being less frequent, but hopefully they're more of an event for you to join us and chat Doctor Who.
I do wonder if going weekly sort of, not put people off as such, but we had some of you going, "Oh, I can catch the next one. I can skip out on this one." Whereas now it's more, you gotta watch us. You're locked in. You're forced.
Yeah.
It's our cunning plan. But no, we hope you've all enjoyed.
It's been fun. I've had a good time. It's been nice to do it all over again.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
We will. Bye-bye, everyone, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter.